one.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Vinnie Hardy from CreationAstronomyNow.com and Creationist Company, here with my brother, Joe.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Creation Astronomy Now Podcast, the show where the Bible and astronomy go together like an evening and a sunset.
And we are here about, 2 weeks late? I believe it's 2 weeks late, almost later, but we finally got around to it. The past few weeks we've been fighting a flu, and it's one of those flus that puts you down and out for week after week, and you think that you'll never get through. Fortunately, we got through. However, as some of you might have noticed, it was a little bit of a sacrifice for Creation Astronomy Now, because I wasn't feeling good enough to write any articles, and neither of us could talk good enough to do the podcast. But Joe's feeling better now, isn't he?
Yeah, well actually I didn't get it near as bad as you got it. I was strong, I ate healthy.
Yeah, I sort of eat healthy. I only eat half a dozen cookies. But anyway, on today's episode we're going to be talking about the Big Bang. Very controversial subject for a very controversial podcast. Why do we have such a controversial podcast? I mean, honestly, it's like talking about creation is more controversial than politics. I think really the problem is, I've been thinking about it. On politics, you've got left wing and right wing, and then those that are sitting on the fence. On the creation apologetics, you've got the evolution, the atheists. You've got creationists, then you've got agnostics, theistic evolutionists, you've got those who believe in the gap theory, you've got the old age of the universe creationists, and those that use the Christians who believe in the Big Bang. I mean, really, as an expert poster said online, most Christians believe in evolution. And most people who believe in evolution are Christians. That really doesn't make much sense. But I know someone said, I got a picture of it. I mean, it makes sense, but it's so obvious that, why does he have to say it twice?
Yeah. Or what?
Just because you say it in a different order doesn't mean it makes more sense.
Yeah. Some people think differently, though, Vinny. They think if I say it twice and reverse it the second time, it sounds really smart.
Speaking of thinking differently, a recent study has shown that people do indeed think very differently, especially about origins. In fact, a recent study has come out that shows that 51% of Americans are not too confident that the universe began in a Big Bang.
That's good.
You, Joey, are you very confident in the Big Bang?
I'm not too confident that the universe began in a Big Bang.
It's like, not too confident. It's like, what does that mean? Like, the scientists are like, oh, it's so terrible. Because 99.9% of members of the National Academies of Science believe in the Big Bang. They're extremely confident in it. And to me, that says that scientists are getting too confident in their theories. I mean, like, look at this. You've got the 82% are extremely confident in the belief that smoking causes cancer. No surprise. I mean, it's kind of obvious.
Yeah.
That's an observable scientific fact that can be observed and tested. And you could repeat those tests as many times as you want. And you might come to some different numbers, but more or less it'd be the same. Now, some of these are a little bit different. Like there's the overuse of antibiotics causes the development of drug-resistant bacteria. 65% are extremely confident, 23% are somewhat confident, 9% are not too confident. Now basically, for those of you who study biology, an antibiotic, actually that is true, that overusing antibiotics causes the development of drug-resistant bacteria. If I can summon my knowledge of biology, I believe the way it works is that, well, it's microevolution is, I believe, what it is. Basically, it's not Darwinian evolution, but it's survival of the fittest, where the bacteria that can survive the antibiotic are able to reproduce. And so soon, there's no antibiotics to go around because all the bacteria are immune to them. Same thing with the weeds and chemicals.
Yeah.
The weeds get
The
their
Roundup
bacteria.
isn't killing the weeds anymore.
Yeah, so now they have to come up with new chemicals. And eventually, it's just things genetically modified. These things are adapting to our unnatural uses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, that is evolution, but it's not evolution in the large sense that Darwin suggested. For that, you can't observe that because it takes millions of years. Really, that's been a big safety net for them, really, because they say, "Oh, you haven't observed it. It's not a scientific fact." They say, "Yes, but it takes millions of years, so we can't observe it." So
They ask somebody, "Can you make something out of nothing?" And they say, "I can't because I don't have millions of years."
I could say, I could go out to somebody and say, "Let me think of something impossible that you can't do." Say, "I can fly." You can't fly. Say, "I can fly." Say, "Fly for me." Say, "I can't." Say, "Why not?" Because it would take millions of years. Which really, that's basically what their think is. Say, give it enough time, anything can happen. Give me enough time, and who knows, maybe I'll be a millionaire in millions of years. I'll get $1 a year. That'll work. Okay, now there's also this one. The universe is so complex, there must be a supreme being guiding its creation. Now that's, I wouldn't say it would be completely observable, but I would say that it is scientifically observable. However, when you go to repeating your tests, different people would look at it different ways. It's all about perspective. Isaac Newton would look at the fact that every living creature has an arm and a leg on both sides, and only two. So, and he looks at that and he says, this is proof that there was a creator, and this is the same creator created everything. But evolutionists would say, it's because they all got a common ancestor. Say, okay, it's because this thing had 2 arms and 2 eggs, and it reproduced into this thing after millions of years. Now here's some other. But anyway, that one. The universe. Yeah, the universe is so complex there must be a supreme being guiding its creation. 54% are extremely confident, and 25% are not too confident. 18% are somewhat confident. Now this one really kind of gets me. Childhood vaccines are safe and effective. Again, that's one of those things that different people see it differently, but for the most part, it has been proven that they are not safe. And I mean, I'm not trying to say take away everybody's vaccines, but I wouldn't recommend. I don't think they're safe, and I don't think they're effective. But 53% were extremely confident that is true, and 50% were not too confident. 30% were somewhat confident. So there you go. Now 33% are extremely confident that global warming is happening. Again, that's kind of, I don't think, like they show those, the polar bear trying to swim on the ice and the ice breaks out from under it. That's just to me, that just looks like the global warming societies trying to get some extra funds by, the poor animals, even though that's not happening. It's a computer animation. But you saw it, so it must be true.
Yeah.
Saw it on TV. It's gotta be true.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Wait, global warming's gonna help the polar bear not fall through the ice?
No. They're saying that global warming is making the ice all go away.
Oh.
Which, I mean, there has been climate change, goes up and down. I don't think we're gonna see anything major like an ice age or global warming, or like they're saying, we're gonna lose all the Earth's water. The Earth is 70% covered in water. We're probably not going to lose the water anytime soon.
So how do they think we're going to lose the water, Vinny?
Global warming. I mean, I just admit that it is pretty hot around here. But I don't think it's going to take all the water.
No.
Like, that's another fact, though. It's like, you look at the ocean, you know, all the people are like, how could there be global flood? I mean, look, there's not enough water to cover the entire Earth. I mean, where'd all the water go? So check out the ocean, guys. It's over there.
Yeah, go look under there.
But, should have brought a glass of water up. I'm getting dry-throated.
What if by now all the water is gone?
Yeah, thinking about water. Oh, no good idea. But now we've got life on Earth, including human beings, evolved through a process of natural selection. This is kind of interesting. 31% were extremely confident, 42% were not too confident, and 24% are somewhat confident. Now, you can understand some of these others, like antibiotics and child vaccines. I mean, people use them every day, so, you know, they're going to be kind of like, oh, they got to be safe, right? Whereas, you know, they observe vaccines being used, they observe smoking causing cancer every day. But evolution, all of a sudden, you're getting into the unobserved because it takes millions of years.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's getting to where the unobserved.
It's kind of interesting, that thing about atheists. They always claim that they say, if I saw a sign, I would believe. They wouldn't believe. You could give them all the proofs it was possible. They wouldn't believe. You could give them more proofs it was possible. That was impossible to give. They wouldn't believe.
Now, it also there's Earth is 4.5 billion years old. 27% are extremely confident. 36% not too confident. You know, some numbers in between. The universe began 13.8 billion years ago with a Big Bang. 21% are extremely confident. 51% are not too confident, and 25% are somewhat confident.
And look at that, 30% are not confident at all. That means more people are not confident about the Big Bang than the people who are.
Now, you know, I mean, it's the Big Bang. Really, the question of the day really would be, is it based on science or faith? And I would really say it started out, most scientists, they came up with it, they were basing it off of science, you know, scientific observations. You know, they saw that the universe was expanding, and, you know, they looked back in time and suggested it could have started as a point. I don't think it originally was completely based on faith. But after we started learning more, we started seeing how, you know, like, it's one thing to say it, to reverse it and put it back to a single point. One thing to say, okay, how could natural processes make that point start expanding? And all of a sudden, you've got to expand too fast so that it's all just kind of in the abyss and there's not enough matter together, or it kind of starts doing too slow and comes back together before life can even start forming. So everything's got to be perfect. So all of a sudden, it's no longer scientific. And then you've got problems like the horizon problem. So they have to introduce, and other problems, which makes them have to introduce inflation. And inflation is so complex that really it's no longer based on science, it's more based on faith. And really, I'd like to ask a scientist, you know, like an atheist scientist, so do you think that the Big Bang will ever be replaced? Because like the steady state theory, which proposed that the universe has always existed the way we see it today, it's been replaced by the Big Bang. Except for Fred Hoyle. He still holds to it, but he's dead now, so. But, you know, I mean, it's used to get rid of God. I don't know if it was necessarily developed for that purpose, but it is definitely used by atheists. Oh, man. And I don't know. I'd like to ask an atheist sometime.
Yeah, that would be interesting. They might get mad, though.
However, I'm going to try to cover this with my dry throat. I should have got a drink of water first, but... Now, recently, I've been working on a project, but it's a secret, because I don't want to tell you right now. But for now, let's just say that we have released an ebook about the Big Bang, which I wrote. So you can get that. In fact, let's go ahead. I'm gonna, in the description, I will link to the video about the ebook on my channel, which is the first episode of the Vincent series. So, if you want the ebook, be sure to visit our website and download it.
Yeah.
Just go to creationastronomy.com/2014 freebie.
And go and get your free book.
One last thing, however. Recently, Ken gave us an email. Sent us an email.
That was nice of him.
In fact, he'd read the Big Bang versus Science, and he had a few questions. In fact, a lot of questions. Skeptical questions. But he seemed like a nice guy in the email, so I checked out the questions and said he listened to every single episode of our podcast. I kind of find it hard to believe. Even the one about the homeschool conventions. That one, I don't know. It's like, who could read that one? I mean, watch it. Who could stand to?
It was terrible.
It's what comes of not making notes. Which is why I always make notes. However, okay, let's start the first one. How did the plants survive without the sun? How warm could the earth have been before the sun was created? I bet Joey here knows the answer to that.
What was the question again?
How did the plants survive without the sun? How warm would the earth have been before the sun was created? See, the plants were created on day 3, and the sun was created on day 4.
Yeah, so there was a
This
day.
is a little bit of a problem. The sun's, the plants don't have any sunlight.
Well, there was already light.
There was light?
There was light.
How could there be light? You know, really, the atheists, they want to put everything to science. And science can't account for everything. I mean, they want it to, like, a Big Bang. However, it's like a 1 out of a million chances of that working. Probably less now.
Well, here's an interesting experiment you can do. Everybody, you want to do a fun experiment? Plant a flower. And when that flower is full grown, put it in the dark for a day. The next day, put it back out. The flower is going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need the sunlight to survive. Probably could have survived. However, the sun was, the light was created on day 1. So we had evening and morning on the Earth. Rotating planet and a light source. And very likely, I mean, Dr. Jason Lyle has suggested that it was an alternative heat source. Personally, I've been thinking about it. And, you know, like, what in heaven? You know what the Bible says about heaven? It says that there is no need for the sun. Because, well, why is that? Don't know. It's because God is the
God is the light.
He's the source of the light, and very likely all the energy that will be needed in the new heaven and the earth are created.
I was just wondering.
So very likely, he provided the light and heat source.
I was just wondering because when you asked
during the creation week.
I was just wondering because when you asked me that question, I thought, has Vinny forgot? I wanted to see if you forgot about it.
Okay, but anyway. Other question. Compromise is, it is a statement. Compromise is only a half effort fraught with resentment and animosity. Accepting verifiable evidence until better evidence comes along is a wise method. Is he talking about the Big Bang still?
He wants us to believe in the eternal spec, which you can't explain where it came from or when it exactly was or how it happened.
Yeah,
but it's science. It's science.
I would definitely not. I mean, I would not think to say that the Big Bang is more verifiable than the Bible.
Yeah.
And really, it's true that the Big Bang relies 100% on natural methods, which is what science is based on: observing science, natural methods, and putting tests to it. However, you have to realize that it's a miracle. I mean, it's supernatural. It's just, can't you get over that? Of course not.
Well, if the spec came from nowhere and exploded and made life somehow after millions of years, that seems more complicated than somehow having plants survive one day without light.
Yeah. And we want you to know, I mean, we are not denying that we have faith. Christianity is a faith. Hebrews 11:6 says, but without faith, it is impossible to please Him. See, there won't be anybody gonna scientifically figure out the salvation and get saved and go to heaven, because it's not a scientific thing. Scientifically, how does forgiveness work? There's no scientific formula for forgiveness. Christianity isn't scientific. What we're all about is giving you astronomy from a creation perspective, not necessarily.
And not just astronomy, we give all kinds of other things. I'm not into science at all.
I've studied biology some, so unlike what the one person said, they said, "You stupid kid, you need to go study some biology." Thank you. I need to talk to Jake about that. I need to say, Jake, did I say something stupid? I don't think so.
See, Vinny, what did they watch that? Or they watch something you make, and they get uncomfortable. Oh boy, could that kid be right? No, he's just stupid. Let me say something mean. You're stupid. And that feels so much better. That's the way it is.
YouTube video comment guy. Like my recent Vincent's video I'm working on. I'm just don't even bother commenting. Just, if you'd hate me so much, there's a thumbs down button. You can thumbs down this video. It'll hurt, but I mean, it's just, comment is a waste of time.
I'm not gonna look.
Yeah, we won't look too much. However, my throat is really dry.
And before our camera runs out of space, we better wrap this up.
I better call it an episode. This has not been a bad episode, really.
Oh, it's been a pretty good one.
So, if you want more information, what can you do? Where can you get more information?
Maybe you could find
I'll
some.
put a link in the description to the article. I believe it's on Scientific American. I'm not sure. I'll find it, and I will give you a link, and you can go check it out if you want. And now it's time to go. So, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Until next time, take it easy. We are out.